City derbies are a staple in football. Whether we're talking about the Manchester derby, the Madrid derby, or the Merseyside derby, those are just some of the many across the world. The appeal on most of these is basically to have bragging rights over an entire city, because some of these rivalries are formed very, very far back in history. The atmosphere is very intense in a lot of these derbies. However, the West just does not do it the same.
Forward.
Hey, you there? You see the stat? This stat is very depressing. This is why I would kindly request of you to subscribe and like. If you do ever regret your decision, too bad. You can never unsubscribe. You are contractually obliged to stay subscribed. And should you actually press that button, you have 5 minutes to live, as I planted C4 under your desk. Hopefully, I'll be able to make this a series and this doesn't just fall off after one video. But today we'll be covering the first Balkan derby, the Sarajevo derby. The Sarajevo derby is easily the most intense and passionate football rivalry in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it is an absolute spectacle anytime that it's played. Certain derbies can't even really be called derbies because at one point in history a team was dominating, and right now the scores and the goal differentials are very uneven. That's not really the case with this one, and I'm about to prove it to you. Zeljeznicar does lead in head-to-head results in competitive matches with 46 wins to Sarajevo's 44. So like I said, we're talking one season and it could all really change. 59 draws also being played just show how difficult it is to decide a winner in all of these. If you want more stats to compare, in terms of trophies, Zeljeznicar leads, but once again only by one with 16 to Sarajevo's 15. Goal difference is 148 to 147 in Sarajevo's favor. So like I said, it is extremely tight, and hopefully all these stats were proof of it. This is not me minimizing other derbies, as I'm aware there are plenty in Bosnia. The Mostar derby being one of the more notable ones between Zrinski and Velej, the Tuzla derby between Sloboda and Tuzla City. There's, like I said, a bunch of these, but I don't think anyone's gonna fight me on saying that this is clearly the biggest one. And this rivalry isn't something that started recently or following the breakup of Yugoslavia. This is a derby that's been on for a while. Now I know that the word while is a pretty long fucking term. And what I mean by that is that both of these clubs' rivalries date back to the early 20th century when they were both founded. I'd love to give you an entire history recap of both of these. However, that would require the video being 7 hours long. And if I really slim it down, if I speak at the pace of Eminem. So I'm just going to give you the, base stuff. Following the end of the Second World War, the three major clubs in Sarajevo, Zeljeznicar and Slavia, were all disbanded by their authorities and eventually formed FK Sarajevo in 1946. Zeljeznicar's upbringing was very different, as it was formed by a group of railway workers in 1921. Zeljeznicar for the longest time was kind of in the shadow, but just when Sarajevo was formed was kind of when Zeljeznicar really started to, dare I say, pop off Queen. That was the worst joke I've ever made. I'm actually going to go and hang myself. FK Sarajevo's fans, or dare I say supporters, were more upper-class individuals, while on the other side, the supporters of Zeljeznicar were usually working-class citizens with a liberal image. Nowadays, that doesn't really track. Everyone is very poor. It doesn't matter who you support. You probably have no money. There were a few matches that were played in friendlies between the two teams. However, the first official league match was held in 1954, where FK Sarajevo won dominantly 6-1. It's the biggest win recorded in any of these derbies, so like I said, this was when Zeljeznicar still had some catching up to do. Now we're done with the history speak. Let's actually get to the more interesting part, and that is how it's developed in the modern age. First up, I'm going to cover the two team stadiums. I'm going to start off with Sarajevo, who play at the Asin Ferhatović Stadium, mostly shortened, we call it Koševo. Zeljeznicar, on the other hand, plays at the Grbavica Stadium, shortened, there's no shortening for that, just Grbavica. Both teams have their own sets of ultra supporters, which are marginally more fucking insane compared to any in the West, and I mean, I hope you can see why. Zeljeznicars are called the Maniacs because their love for the club borders on insanity, which is very cool. The Sarajevo fans are called Horde Zla because of a popular comic called Zagor. that was actually made in Italy, but was heavily distributed over here. And both sets go absolutely fucking insane during these matches. Hopefully, I've been able to find this footage and it is not blocked or anything, because, I mean, you just have to see it for yourself. You can't describe these scenes, you just kind of have to witness them. Now, Željo and Sarajevo are not the only teams in Sarajevo, believe it or not. There are plenty more. However, they're all kind of, how to put it lightly, shit, and don't play in the first league. Once again, speaking to the absolute insanity of these matches, the longest winning streak either team has had is of 2. Both teams have never got over 2 wins. No one's ever won 3 in a row. Meaning that there's never been a clean wipeout season, because the Bosnian league only has like 3 games per season against every team. Very weird league. Like I said, it makes no sense. These are kind of packed as well. The first one I watched in its entirety, and this is kind of embarrassing, you know, I'm gonna have tomatoes thrown at me in the comment section, was the one in August of last year. Yeah, listen, I know I've not been caught. Listen, Jesus Christ. No matter what you think of that, it is a great point to start at, as that one was a very memorable one, and I'm about to like mildly describe it to you. Like I said, before the game even actually went to halftime, there were already multiple yellow cards, and Strane Chidiak even managed to pick up a red for himself. Not too soon after the second half began, Ivan Ikic opened the scoring through a penalty, and Musa Mohamed then doubled up on it with a goal in the 76th minute. Then Hadjic scores what seems to be a consolation goal in the 88th minute. Zeljeznicar keep fighting, and eventually they do get a free kick, which Samir Bekic, who, like I said, I want to remind you, is an old man of 38, scores, getting a draw in the 96th minute. This was at Željo Stadium, Gebausa, which absolutely exploded, as you can imagine. Not even a cup final, nothing, yet it still sounds like the Champions League final. If you have watched my other video that I posted not too long ago, we should check out, the annotation is going to be up somewhere here. You should check that out. Both of these teams are currently fighting for the Europa Conference League, and like I said, I wish them both luck. We're going to start at Sarajevo, who look like they're going to have an exciting season ahead of them, with such players as Adalberto Peñaranda, I've definitely said that correctly, 100%, who has joined recently, Kevin Viveros, who has also joined, and Vinko Soldo. Like I said, all of those on a free. The only signing that they actually paid for was the signing of Amad Beganovic, who came from Slovenian club Mura. Železnicar haven't been as insanely active, however, they still made some signings of their own. Haris Ovčina coming from Velaj on a free. You also have players like Aidin Mulalic and Edin Rustemovic, so Železnicar definitely means business as well. If you're wondering about last season's results, Železnicar finished in 3rd with 53 points, Sarajevo finishing 4th with 52 points, which, like I said, just speaks to how even these teams are, at least in my eyes. What makes this derby so special is, like I said before, fan involvement, the pure passion and insanity of the fans. Like I said, there is no quiet second in the stands at all. I don't think you'll find halftime quiet either. I've never actually been to one of these derbies. I'd actually love to go, and when I do, which I eventually will, trust me, I'll make sure to record it. Like I said, we're not skipping out on that, no chance. To sum it all up for you, the Sarajevo derby is a captivating rivalry that captures the essence of the city's footballing culture, and like I said, shows out the deep-seated passion for the sport in the city. And like I said before, talk can only do so much. Talking over the scenes and the footage of that I've been able to find on YouTube. I think just to give you a bit of a glimpse into it, I'll show you some footage from people who actually went to these games. Little thing just to add in here, if you do actually want to see something really cool, Spencer FC made a video on going to the derby. I'd recommend watching that one. It's really well made. To watch an Englishman find out about Sarajevo's culture and all that, it's a great video. You should check it out. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, you know the drill, and also Discord in the description. It currently has 3 other members that are not literally my friends who I've bribed to come in. So yeah, let's fill that stuff up. talk about football, talk about the Second World War, just have a jolly old time. And yeah, I'll see you sometime. I don't know when my next video is gonna be. I'll have to figure that one out. And yeah, thank you for watching, and just get the fuck out of my house.